Well, my answer is going to surprise some people here because people have heard me pick against John Jones, and indeed I have. But I'll tell you this: there's no doubt with what he's done that John Jones is the goat. I think when I picked against him against Cyril Gahn, I had a lot of things going for me. It was obvious that John went off drugs for a few years to try to come back. It was obvious John was going up in weight. He had lost a few of those fights at light heavyweight that they gave him decisions on. So I thought my philosophy on what was going to happen was real. What I don't think I took into consideration, and this is legendary in MMA, that John Jones essentially sometimes doesn't train as hard as he should, and he still beats people. And that's because he's the first real professional level athlete that entered the martial arts world. Now, martial arts before all of this, guys, was a quirky set of weirdos, right? Like Dungeons and Dragons type people. I know because I've been there the whole time, right? And so it was very rare to have somebody with that kind of athletic talent, right? Two brothers in the NFL. And we can juxtapose him if you want against the other participants, like Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva, I love him. Why? Because very much like me, right? It's his taekwondo background that nobody talks about that makes him so good at the Muay Thai striking that he does. And the fact that he knew jiu-jitsu at a time when very few people actually had those combinations together. So he came around at a time that was perfect for him, and he was an absolutely thrilling fighter. And we could have been fooled that he was the greatest of all time if he had retired at the right time, right? But that's all these lists are mythical at the end. George St. Pierre, I think he was one of the hardest workers of all time, without a doubt, and a very, very smart fighter, right? He worked his way into wrestling, worked his way into jiu-jitsu, and had to suffer, right? I think he was a garbage man in Canada, and he'd take the bus 2 hours each way just to go to jiu-jitsu class. I mean, talk about like a die-hard martial virtue. But at the end of the day, I think, with George, you saw it against Matt Serra and some other people. Eventually, George has holes where people can get him. Conor McGregor. Conor is a weight bully, right? Like at lightweight and featherweight, when he could suck his body down, he did really well. But I'm not going to say that he was a GOAT. Randy Couture, absolutely an incredible athlete. But if you look at Randy's record, right, he won almost as much as he lost, right? He just happened to come at a time where there weren't a lot of elite athletes. And he was certainly that from his wrestling background. So yes, listener, the answer is, without a doubt, overwhelmingly, John Jones is the GOAT. And I say that with a lot of egg on my face from calling some of his fights against him. But, I believed that he was going to lose. I truly did, based on the lack of drugs and the changing of eras. I've seen it happen to teammate after teammate of mine, and it just didn't happen that way. And he is, without a doubt, the undisputed greatest of all time in mixed martial arts. Everybody, read my book, Warrior of the Light.